Second. That means the thing has been hit.
Oh,
What were you saying, Fizz?
how's my audio?
Your audio is a very low. But you know what? You got about 23 seconds, because you all know what that means.
Though I know I should be wary, still I venture someplace scary. Ghostly haunting, I turn loose.
It's showtime!
Welcome, everybody, now and temporarily in the future. I'm the current host of this program, perhaps not for much longer. The Memes of Destruction, joined with my lovely, bubbly, bouncy, cartoonish co host, Fizz.
How's the audio now? Whoa.
Much better. There we go.
Whoa.
All right, I am sure Awesome One is very happy, as well as Jelly Duck. Welcome, my friend. Well, have you ever noticed you meet a lot of interesting characters as you explore the Internet of Stuff and Things?
Yes. Hold on. I'm trying to figure out how to turn my gain back down. Okay.
No. That was very. That was actually beautiful because I'm looking at the chat. The chat is over there, and as I was talking about meeting interesting people, I'm just looking at you, looking over at the people in the chat, and you're like, yes.
Oh yeah, that is perfect.
just the little things, like even on like one of your little clips or anything, it's like you're playing Doom, everything is adding up, and at the end it's just like you're looking over. I'm like, I still need to. Oh, so many. Dude, I was going through and like deleting pornography and stuff to like free up room on my computer, and I'm like, oh my god, no wonder I have no room on iCloud. I have so much like screen record material from years ago from just random streams and all this jazz. It's like I should really never go through those archives. I'm pretty sure I could destroy relationships and stuff like that, not even intentionally. But remember, rule 2 of the internet. The internet is forever. Oh, hey, Whitechapel. What's going on, Jax? What's happening? Hey. In the deepest lore of this channel, there's a beard so burly that I literally couldn't tell like my hair from like my face hair. So it's like head hair, face hair. As I was shaving, I'm like, oh my god, it just all started blending together. I wasn't even sure what part of it was me. I don't know. Yeah, have you ever been through that, Fizz? Like when you go down to like either like I don't know, like the dog groomer that does like good when you get your fur did.
Oh, yeah.
How's
I've had
that?
a few moments like that where I got my fur did, and es- especially if I'm trying something new, or or I ask for something specific and that's like the opposite of what they do. There's definitely times where I'm like, who? Oopsies! Who the crap am I looking at?
I don't know, Fizz. Who the heck are you looking at? Right now it's Decepticon Cave of Comics and Toys.
It
He's
sure
hailing us.
is. That's what the hell I'm looking at.
Your audio went down. Either that or your mouth moved further away.
Probably a
There
little
you
bit
go.
of both.
Okay.
Oh wow, so
That's
it's
what I figured.
super sensitive then. Okay.
Oh,
What's really bad is there's a new microphone, right? And you can control the gain with a touch thing.
mm.
And the instructions that come with this thing are very minimal. It's like, if you need any more help, you can look up the full instructions. I don't want to read.
Now,
I liked the pictures it showed me, but I'm just like wiping my finger all over this thing, like up, down. What is happening here? I don't know.
yeah, or you could be the traditional, stereotypical manly men. Basically, when I worked at facilities department, our whole gist was, why would we read the directions? Hint: reading the directions makes it a lot easier. You usually don't have to redo it over. I tried to read. I end up being like the most successful security dude in like a new thing launched in our region over here because it's like, all right, here was like a head of a security company that jumped ship because they realized they were probably going to tank because we were probably going to eat them. But it was like, oh, here are the 10 most important things if a customer's ordering a home security system or is interested in it. It's like, walk around the full perimeter inside, both floors, the outside. It's like common sense things. And it's like, then we had equipment. And Fyzz, I read the instructions on the equipment about how it worked. I'm like, oh, this makes sense to me. Maybe it was the sciencey thing. It's like, you got magnets. The magnets go too far apart, it sets off the alarm. Whoa.
That's brilliant.
Yeah. Or one of the things, like every 15 to 30 seconds, it takes an infrared screenshot at this far up. So basically, if somebody's walking through your living room, it's a motion detector. That's literally just what it does. It's like you explain it like that. It's got a little shield in it. So if you got some animals around, if you got some furry friends, and as long as they're not like jumping like 5 or 6 feet high, they should be okay.
Well, now people know that they just have to crawl really low, like animal level around.
Yeah, Fyzz, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work. That's the thing. Like when I did security, it's like very simple. It's like, all right, on a scale from 1 to 10, like 10 being Fort Knox and 1 being you have all the doors and windows wide open, what level of security are you looking for? Most folks typically don't say below a 5 because it's like, well, I want to be in at least the middle. I don't want to be too cheap or something. So,
But can't afford Fort Knox. Yeah, I get them
some people want the Fort Knox edition. It's gotta to each their own. But Samaj, we aim to keep the most appropriately groomed animals. And so I needed to run my fingers through my hair because I was getting all poofy. That's one of the reasons I brought up the cosmetology, cosmology. One of those things, those ologies. One is the stars, and one is their strands and stuff. And yes, well, the problem is the broken glass detectors. Certain sounds can actually set them off. If you hit the right pitch, you can do it. Like if you, I think that literally the way we used to, you jingle your keys in front of it. It's like it's like. Not only does that get the dog or cat all riled up, or maybe a Fyzz, but it also hits a certain frequency that tends to set those off. So that's just what I remember. But
broken glass is also not the best idea if you have pets.
No, or you have feet.
Hi, Doug.
That's stepping on broken glass is not a good. God, those moments where you realize. I need a girlfriend, so I actually take care of my environment. It's so horrible. Professor Peterson would be so bored at me. Oh, and here's this dude claiming to reverse engineer reality. So reality is it's a fickle thing. But in order to not completely throw the folks off, Fyzz, go into a quick story while I finish showing this and setting up the other things about how you would go about breaking the multiverse in your head, or let's say if Piper maybe has mentioned a couple of things about a potential webcomic, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts are Piper's gonna work herself to death. Also, if you have a hard time telling what I'm saying, don't worry. Me too. I have the faux fang in my mouth, and I should probably stop trying to say words that start with the f sound. I can't even do my voice right because there's just like nothing fits right. There's too much shit in my mouth, you guys.
Well, you also haven't been accustomed to it's like, all right, something's a little bit different about the body, and how do I do it when I am in this particular form and that, and please keep Piper alive. I need her.
Yeah, she just, oh my goodness, she really likes comics, you guys. She really likes them, but she also likes drawing. She sucks at it, but she also likes drawing, and she likes a lot of stuff. The problem is that so then she tries to do all of it. Like, at once.
That's all. As somebody that's tried to do far too much, far too often, you end up not getting as much done as you want.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna tell somebody. I think it was Decepticons that the wait, wait.
Hmm?
Still drunk from hanging with Nico. Um, I hope you're not talking about me because I haven't gotten to hang with Nico. That was Piper and
Mm.
Giggity. They got to hang with Nico. Um, however, uh, I might get to myself soon. Maybe.
I
Hopefully,
was gonna say the invitation is still there for Fan Expo Boston Fizz. We
Oh
can make
yeah.
this happen. It's August. The beginning. It's like 4th through 6th or something like that. I think it's like I looked at it earlier. I just need to know because I still need to get my stuff. So it's going to be like the last like fan thing. I'm going to be around here, and then I'll be in Utah for about a year.
Whoa. Yeah. No, I am still totally down. As long as like we figure out how to do it, I am so down for doing that.
The thing is, it's only for you. Like I can't really budget Piper and G Iggity. I mean, if they want to travel in luggage or something, I mean, I can't tell them what to do.
No, I am totally fine with that. I am much look. I am way more social than them anyway. So
I mean, you are. I mean, you're here. You've survived over a year, maybe a year and a half now, like
hmm.
with me. So like that's longer than any of my other co-hosts here. So it's like that's saying that might be longer than all my other co-hosts. Oh God, I'm not sure if that's telling about your sociability or my sociopathy. No,
Whoa.
these things. Oh, but so you're gonna be starring in a webcomic. Um, it okay. Real quick plot twist is that remember the whole thing. We're literally going to be blatantly abusing all the major search terms. Going to be completely honest about that. AI, Beetlejuice. Oh yeah, because that star, how it's actually going to start that off. Apparently, it might actually explode at any moment. Like we might actually see the supernova at any. It may have already exploded, and its light's just getting it because it's like 600 light years away.
Yeah, it'll take some time for us to get the message.
But no, people are talking all about that. Oh, the other interesting thing, if anyone's been hearing a whole bunch of like science, this and that, and what all the hubbub is, apparently they've detected a gravitational background signal that they weren't able to do before. Because like basically, where is it? I think it's Louisiana, and then maybe Illinois. They have the LIGO detectors. I think one's LIGO, one's Virgo. Um, but basically, they have a couple of these interferometers. What it is, it's like it shines light, it hits a mirror, and the light's coming back, and it cancels itself out because like the same wavelength basically makes it go, so it disappears. But what happens if there's a strong enough gravitational wave? If you have a precise enough equipment, all of a sudden it jiggles those like little that laser pointer, so it'll be a little off, and you'll see like a little blip. And it's so crazy. Like it literally only deviates like I don't know, like about like the width of like a proton, which is like
Dang.
okay, so like you take like a meter stick.
Naked eye definitely probably wouldn't notice.
Nope. I
And she
mean maybe if,
probably also put some clothes on.
yeah, it's a super bad. Wait, what? I mean, as far as I can see, you're in your standard Fizz garments and everything. That's totally fine. But the whole thing is yeah, and if anyone's interested, I totally stole the thumbnail for this stream from Fizz's Twitter. There, she's going to be doing some ASMR on her YouTube channel, and that's from Fizz Library ASMR. There'll be the crazy thing is Fizz. I feel like if somebody in that household actually like fully goes viral, aside from Piper's jiggle physics, I feel like it would be your ASMR.
Ooh. I got some news about that.
Oh, please share.
This microphone setup is part of the news. So this is an upgrade from my other microphone, but there's also another one coming. So um, I do not have the money to get the fancy 3DO with the ears on it and all the stuff that I would need in order to use that microphone, because they don't just plug into the computer. But I'm going to have two different USB microphones, the two top rated ones, and I should be able to set it up where each one is mono, but one is mono right and one is mono left. That should give the each ear effect, just like a 3DO. Only
Is in
instead
true
of licking
stereo.
an ear, yeah, instead of licking an ear, I'll be licking the just a regular microphone shape
Oh
microphone.
dear. Um, I mean, I did not expect your short YouTube channel of just a few glaming clips to take such a different turn. Then again, I'm one to talk. It's like the first video on your channel, according to Ryan Roger Athe, shout out to Ryan, was it's basically Stone Cold explains extremists in like 6 seconds. It's like it ain't a race thing, it ain't a color thing, it's a me kicking your ass thing. I'm like, I think that sums up a lot of the stuff I was hearing at the time on the internet about people pointing fingers at each other. I'm like, I think y'all just don't like each other. Just admit it. Legalize dueling.
My bad.
But Fractal, welcome, my friend. That's the crazy thing. Right now, they're like, it's loud signal. It's it's on the higher end. Like some of the things with the JWST, it's like, oh, these galaxies break the universe. No, they've had models, and it's like, this is surprising. It is within the scope. It does yet to currently overturn the current cosmological paradigm. Yet. Now, am I biased? Totally. Um, because the craziest thing is, and I wasn't necessarily expecting this, um, depending on where they increase their precision, because the way they're measuring it right now is you got like these stars, and they got these like these really little kind of like almost neutron star type things. Basically, it's a star at the end of its life. It's really small, it's wicked dense, and it's spinning wicked fast. So it's spinning around. So basically, figure it's got like a pulse laser going, kind of like from Mech Warrior, coming out from like the poles, but it's spinning around like a crazy person, and it's just like eventually, basically, it's set up that we observe it as a star and we detect that radio signal that it beams towards us every once in a while, and it's literally one of the best clocks in the universe. So if all of a sudden that gets obscured because of the gravitational wave going by, we can tell that. And they have 15 years of like nonstop data just staring at all these pulsars, and they're like, it might just be background noise. Maybe we made an error, but that's like a 1 in 1,000 or 1 in 10,000 chance. It looks like there's something going on, and the thing is that they're saying is like, well, rather than the LIGO, those two other detectors where they have the thing on Earth, it's like that only detects apparently like smaller gravitational waves and stuff like that. So if you got like two black holes that are getting ready to merge, or like a black hole and a neutron star, two neutron stars, when those heavy bodies are spinning around crash, that emits basically higher frequency stuff that those Earth-based detectors get. Whereas in space, like they're talking about like supermassive black holes, like enormous things coming together that would literally probably destroy most of the Milky Way if it happened around here. But it's like there seems to be lots of them everywhere. So I'm like, because we thought it's like, okay, that does have to happen, but I'm like, we don't think it happens that much. But that would either mean maybe the universe as we know it has been around for either a lot longer, it's a heck of a lot larger, or as Fractal was saying, could it be potentially the remnants of a past universe, so to speak? I'll totally conjecture I'm biased on that, but that's essentially what I was saying in Eternal Cyclic Cosmology, one of those last videos before, which is I think the video before I have Piper singing Depart from This World, which totally, if anyone visits this channel, I realize must confuse the heck out of this. Like, This dude is proposing an entirely new cosmological paradigm. And here's this gal dressed as basically the Little Mermaid that's a mercenary that did a full parody song cosplaying it up. It's like,
Oh boy.
this channel has diversity. Hey, we rise together. Shout out to author Stephen Walton. Hey, y'all rise with me whether you want to or not. These things happen. But it's one of those things where it's like, all right, so if the universe is recycling itself, kind of like I'm claiming here, I'm like, that might actually be the signal. And to be fair, the scientists are like, we think it's this. We don't know. Could be something else. And like within the next few years, we should be able to actually see where it's coming from. It's going to be a very interesting next couple of years. That is why I like the internet. It's like, all right, you could say things, and then you see how things play out. And even if when I'm dead and gone and buried and atoms to atoms, dust to dust, we all return to the Earth's crust, except for the man on the moon. Part of him's in the moon. True story. But it's one of those things where it's like, all right, that stuff's going to be out there. Memes live on. That's one of those things, because human beings, we be the combination of genes plus memes. Savvy?
That was a lot of work.
I said a lot of words right there, and I'm like, just give us some philosophy. What do you think about just the human realm? What you would like to see in a webcomic? Okay. Whatever you really got to say, Fyzz. It was about you.
I'm so all over the place. I'm just not with it today. I blame the air. The air here is actually dangerous.
Do you have those fires?
Apparently, it just says haze and air quality alert. Stay inside. Don't breathe it.
What?
And it's been like that since like Monday, I think.
Air quality alert. I mean, have you been getting the smoke from like Canada that's like just burning to hell?
I'm wondering.
Because I mean, don't get me wrong. I know like there can be like a lot of pollen and like, don't get me wrong, allergies can be bad. But I'm like, I don't think I've ever seen anything that says don't go outside and breathe air.
Levels of air pollution exceed unhealthy standards.
Oh, that's not good.
But that's all it says. It doesn't say what it's polluted with. It just says it's polluted, and it's polluted like really hardcore, and to the point where the weather just says we have haze. Like that's our weather is haze.
That sounds like things burning.
Yeah, it is definitely hazy out there. But yeah, they're not saying what is polluting it.
Well, those are the things that make me.
Guess.
Well, the thing is, they might not know completely. I tend to think that. Well, here's the thing: it's I am not a weather dude. I am not a climatologist. I'm not a weatherman, jargon, whatever you want to be, but
meteorologist.
That one. Meteor. Why? Oh my God, I couldn't. And you're the one.
Like that one always messed me up because I'm like, that makes me think meteors.
They're not talking about meteors.
Yeah.
That makes me think of Sephiroth and the Black Materia. I mean, come on.
Yeah, dude. Sephiroth's a meteorologist.
Okay.
She's a hell of a one.
Oh, yeah. He wanted to bring the big one. Yeah. Oh, God. Still my favorite villain. But as far as that goes, I'm like, all right, well, all I know is smoke disperses. Like, when you see the big billowing things of smoke, and even if the smoke goes out, the thing that you learn about smoke is smoking is bad. It disperses. it disperses. So if we burnt all of a sudden, if you have like millions of acres of some of the most like densely rich like places of lumber in the world just on fire, the stuff's gonna go all over the place. Especially if you're like in an enclosed system and we're kind of spinning and everything. Wow, I'm sorry your air is polluted. I thought we took care of that like 30 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of times when I see it over here, it'll be for pollen.
Mm. Oh,
Um,
that's what we usually see.
and they'll at least say pollen instead of just saying pollution. They'll be like, "Yeah, no, you breathing the fuck out some pollen."
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that's why this one's interesting because this one is like not labeling it. It's only saying pollution instead of pollution, and the pollutant is blank.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
pollutant might be smoke. I bet if I did some snooping, some Google foo, I would probably find the answer. Um, but my keyboard is loud.
That's how it, Fizz, I've literally attended, or at least I had the opportunity. Okay, all I know is some of the Wolfram Institution live streams, at least some of the first ones. I mean, God bless them and everything. I feel like some of them were less professional than. All I know is one of the people modding the chat. He would have his keyboard, like, as soon as I type, I would immediately hear his keyboard type. It'd be like, hi, memes, and stuff like that. It's like, I don't know. It depends on the situation. It can be annoying as heck. For me, I view it as keyboard ASMR. Then again, I am biased.
Keyboard ASMR. Yeah, some people when they type, right? It's just like I don't know if you could hear it, but it is kind of like ah, and then I have claws, so when I type, it's like
You're assaulting the poor keyboard.
I am. I hate this keyboard. I hate this keyboard is specifically because it's so loud.
Those were my favorite one. God, I had like an $8 Dell plug-in keyboard that was the greatest keyboard ever. I used that for playing WoW, and it was so responsive. It was all mechanical, and like, yeah, it made a bunch of sound, but oh God, it worked.
Well, that's the thing. If I love mechanical keyboards, and mechanical keyboards are noisy AF. I would tolerate the noisy AF part if the keyboard was at least cool. This one is supposed to be cool. It's a Steel Series. It's like a gamer keyboard. But really, it's I don't like it.
Do you have any wishes for a keyboard for Christmas from Santa?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I don't like it. I can't seem to pull the keys off of this so I can clean it. And it lights up blue, and you can't change the color. And so crumbs get stuck. And since it has a backlight, like I can see the crumbs really good down in there, and I can't get them out. I have tried canned air. I've tried that goop that you kind of mash in there. I've tried just holding it upside down and shaking it like a baby, and man.
Means of Destruction channel does not promote harm to children. Continue.
Oh, that hurts them. I thought that's what you were supposed to do.
No. When you see, because when you watch the breaking news and stuff like that, and they say breaking nanny charged with that is not. It's kind of like when we were talking about paper clips, and the paper clip said to do not nice things about harming oneself. That's not good.
Oh. Well,
Don't listen to the paper clip.
Actually, no, you guys, I got it backwards. The babies shake the rattles. You don't shake the babies like that.
There we go.
The babies shake the rattles like that.
See, the Fyzz neural net is already amending itself.
Well, it's because you heard all that typing. I'm looking stuff up now.
Mm-hmm. No, you and me both. We're both. That's why I threw the link into the Breaking the Multiverse chat, just because it's easier with more party members. You can solo or two-person an instance. Totally done it. You need to be high enough level, and you need to be able to do the correct stuff and things. Did the Windows paperclip. Listen, here's the thing. We actually went into a detailed thing about Clippy at one point, and I did clip some of that stuff about Clippy and played it for, I don't even know, it was on a Twitter thing. I spent far too much time trying to clip the right thing. I should have just made a video for content. But
Yeah, that's the
no,
one.
no,
That's the one that was like, what is it? It seems like you're going to unalive yourself. Would you like help with your suicide note?
yeah. Clippy became a very emotional meme. We'll go with that at one point. It's well, then again, Clippy got a lot of hate. Clippy was just trying to do it.
Poor
Okay. One of
Clippy.
my big things is, and within the deep lore of this channel, I've been pitching the idea to the greater Wolfram community about having Fyzz be basically the new Wolfram mascot. Basically, a more cool new age Clippy
Yeah.
for like Wolfram Alpha and stuff. And that's why I had the book. And if you look on the
Way
thumbnail
cooler,
enough,
way cuter, way less useful.
to be fair, that's why with the modern AI models and stuff like that, it actually could. Because here's the thing: what if Clippy had the power of like Chat GPT or stuff like that? You just ask that. So rather than being like, I don't know what you're talking about, I don't know what you're talking about, or it gives you a link that's kind of close. But no, I already tried that, Clippy. Why do you put me in this recursive loop? And then you pop up when I do something else to try to help me and everything. No, we want you to be a useful Clippy eye.
Yeah.
And also, who
That'd be
doesn't like?
great. You just be like, oh, you trying to do your science homework? Well, I'm an AI, so homework done.
Oh, Fyzz. It's actually
You said Chat GPT, man. That's the first thing I think of.
no.
Plagiarism.
Wait, what? Well. Here's the thing. You take Chat GPT, and select users have access to the Wolfram Alpha plugin. Wolfram Alpha, in and of itself, the last update I think Professor Wolfram showed, I think you could literally take a picture of like some mathematical problems, upload it to Wolfram Alpha, and he's like, well, it might not do all, and then he was actually downplaying it, and then Wolfram Alpha basically just solved all the problems. It's like, you don't even have to put the stuff in anymore. You literally just take a picture and it does it for you. And you could have ChatGPT do it however you want.
Just be like, hey, ChatGPT, these are story questions that we have to answer. Write something there, and then Wolfram can do the math parts of the test. Bam.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. What the good professors have been doing for like the past like 30 something years has been literally creating a natural language based computational language. It's like it's designed so like you use English, and I'm like, oh look, something that comes along that's like, hi, you just type stuff and things to us, and we're going to interpolate it the best we can based upon what we've read on the internet. It's like, it's almost like it was designed to work out that way. But yeah. So aside from doing that, because I think that would actually be fun. It's like, and who doesn't like a cute wolf girl? I feel that would go over better than a paperclip that doesn't actually talk to you.
I think it was creepy, man.
When you give people the option. You don't just pop out of the nowhere. That might freak some people out.
What if I'm bored?
You can bother me. I'm gonna regret saying that.
I pop out of your computer or pop up on your screen. Be like, what's it doing?
No, and this is terrible. I said this knowing I would regret it, because it'll be like, all right, I try to sleep, and I'll wear like Bluetooth headphones and be listening to like some cosmology ASMR, and then Fyzz will be like, hey, you got those fruit pies? And I'll be like, and I'll be dreaming about pies and stuff like that, and then like I'll wake up and I'll be like, Fyzz, why are you here? I'm trying to sleep. It's like, I was bored.
Yeah, and hungry.
Well, there are some constants in nature, so it's like one of the constants in multiverse is Fyzz will be hungry.
Hmm.
That's
Ooh, that'd be interesting. Well, what if we discover uh, a Fizz from a different dimension that's like not hungry?
whoa. According to the many worlds, that might be a thing.
Yeah, should have probably at least one instance would exist of that.
That would just be weird.
Would I be
But
skinny? Dang.
oh, it Isram, well, I've been accused about being in part of the cults, and I will happily accept the moniker of the cult of the wobbly muon. I mean, it's getting me to move to a completely different state and change around my entire life.
Damn.
Maybe it is. Maybe it is. But yes, Jax. Uh, she will always like. Oh, Jax, don't you start. She's a wolf girl.
Wrong button.
She is. See, you made her angry. She has the angry face on now. Oh, jeez. It's
I'm
it,
not.
it.
I'm not a cat. I always land either butt or face first. Thank you very much.
This seems appropriate. I mean, XX Mrs. Memes also kind of did that, but yes, welcome, Kale. Uh, Kali is brought something very interesting to my attention as well. Um, Apparently, there's a very recently published article in I think like one of the astronomical letters. Like it sounds like a pretty upstanding academic journal or something. I only read the abstract, but it looks like they just reinterpolated the data. And it's like people have been saying for years. It's like the universe as we know it is expanding. What's expanding into? It's expanding. It's just this is every. It's like you're sitting there. It's like people will say it's like, well, put a bunch of dots on a balloon and keep blowing the balloon up, or like have a thing of like it's raisins within bread, and as the bread rises, the raisins spread out. Ooh, raisin bread is tasty. But at the same time, it's like I can kind of imagine that, but how's that even? Essentially, somebody took the data from like all these years of like observations, apparently, or something. Again, I haven't gotten the details. This is my speculation to what it says, but apparently, it says that yeah, if you just don't assume the universe is expanding and everything, the data fits basically a non-expanding model pretty dang well. Like I think in the abstract they actually use it almost. They use the word conspiracy at one point. It's like, what are you guys talking about? We just fit this data to just a normal base model. Like nothing has to expand. It's like everything seems to line up just fine. It's like somebody has to have done that before, right? I mean, it's not like we are just all doing all the other things and just doing what everyone else is doing because that's how people get ahead in life and move their careers forward. They just do what other people. God, that would be terrible.
So wait, what is it like? It's over whether or not the universe is expanding or
Basically,
not.
the universe might actually be simpler in a lot of ways because people like everything's going to expand and then the universe will maybe collapse back and we'll do like a big bounce or it'll be a crunch or we're just going to eventually fade off into nothingness. I'm like, now, again, I am completely biased, but at least the model that I think that I'm working with, I'm pretty sure Calais' neutron decay cosmology. I remember she was trying to explain redshift, and I kind of got it, but I was kind of tired and everything. It's like, well, this is what we view as redshift, which is basically you have a star, it's so bright, but we assume space has just been expanding. So we're trying to do, it's like, you don't need to do all that. It's like, the universe is ginormous, and this might, basically within those models, the universe doesn't need to be expanding. It's basically more static. It's cyclic. It just continues around. It's freaking beautiful. It also, I think, actually helps at least both our models as well. So again,
I think what's something that is interesting about humans
Oh.
is I think humans can't quite imagine the concept of infinite. And so I think humans force themselves to find complicated ways to explain the lack of infinite because they can't quite imagine infinite. Just like you can't quite imagine actual nothingness. either, because nothingness in itself isn't a thing. You've made nothing a thing by trying to think about nothing, or imagine nothing. I think it's it works in the reverse too, of trying to imagine that there's just no upper limit is something that it's like the human brain isn't designed or something to be able to completely imagine. And so you guys have figured out how to use math to try and rein everything in, even if it's the biggest lasso ever. It's not an infinite lasso, and that's your goal, is to not to not to avoid imagining something being infinite.
Well,
Damn.
Kali agrees. Apparently, you already understand what's going on better than I do.
It's just me taking what everybody's talking about and putting it in, I don't know, normal people terms, not smart people terms.
You're summarizing it like ChatGPT does for books and different articles.
Only I'm real.
You are a real I. That is true. Well, in the comic, you might actually start out as, okay, now I need to ask. Within at least within this realm, this won't be OG Fyzz. OG Fyzz may actually join later. That'll actually be a very interesting aside towards the end, if this thing runs long enough. But do you want to literally just start out as kind of just like, I don't know, Fyzz GP? You turn into Fyzz, but you only exist as cartoon right now because of Gator's debauchery, the Large Hadron Collider, Beetlejuice exploding, and consequence of other events. You become fused with large language models and different things. Basically, the entire internet goes into not quite a singularity, but a fizzularity, whatever the moniker. Okay. Do you want to exist as your own entity or be Piper's symbiote?
Oh yeah, when I talked to Piper, she was like, I ain't drawing myself. I ain't drawing myself in there.
Okay. Okay. What I'm saying is, for this continuity, basically you could take. Oh God, I'm saying you're going to basically take Piper's soul. Wow, that actually sounds terrible now that I'm actually thinking about it. Basically, you fuse into a being and basically Fyzz. Basically, like, it's actually an easy way to write herself out of the book. So basically, Piper just becomes. Oh God, that increases the ethical issues. Wow.
Hey, let's just keep it simple. VTuber fanboy makes VTuber the character become VTuber the real living, breathing being.
I feel like a lot of people would identify with that because, like, it's like, I mean, why are you going on the internet? So you can do things like this. So like Mark Zuckerberg said, it's like, yes, Dragon King 64 or whatever, I'm paraphrasing here. It's like, yeah, when you're talking to a dragon in the metaverse, that person may not actually be a dragon IRL. You don't know. But it's just one of those things. If it lends itself to it, it's like, why do we do it? Because we can. But yes, Squirrel GPT, awesome one. But
GPT.
it's all I know is with all this stuff about cosmology and everything, AI and everything, we're just going to incorporate that all, hit all those search terms and everything, use some AI generated stuff, give the AI credit, so if and when it does take over and everything, it's like, hey, we were properly citing you, my dude.
Yeah, my fight with the AI and robots will wage.
Yeah, yes, but ultimately, like you'll have been part of it, and you actually within the Fyzzverse lore, doesn't Fyzz probably get a little corrupt because of like influences from the mortal world, like
If you're talking about my actual like lore, then yeah, I was basically the equivalent of a parent giving a toddler a tablet to keep him quiet. I was put in front of a computer and shown the internet to get me to leave her alone while she works. And so that is how I learned most of what I know about being a human, uh, and kind of humanity is the internet, and you know how that turns out. You know how that turns out when people and companies unleash an AI onto the internet and they turn into weird shit and they develop personality disorders? Well, like that, only I'm not an AI.
Yeah, that's you've told us about. Oh, there's so much good. Oh my God, there's so much. This show has provided so much good content. I keep meaning to go back and just clip and do for different things, and I'm like, oh, I should be doing this stuff and every. Oh God, I should actually. Okay, if I'm going to attempt to be a content creator, especially if I'm going to stop actively working for close to a year, um, I'm going to need to spend several hours a day just clipping all that, just creating it as content. Just because one, it's fun, and two, it actually learn a lot of morals from the stories. Like Fyzz, like you just being here and just like restating in like normal speak, um, the crazy things that come out of my mouth and like other folks contributing. It's like I'll sit back. I'm like, I accomplished that, and that monster girl summed it up in like 3 sentences. Thank you.
Yeah.
You can give Fyzz gets head pats.
Ah. Oops.
But
Um.
oh, no, go on.
Well, I was gonna say, following up on that one thought, the fact that you were using the bread rising or a balloon being blown up, hardcore, it illustrates the fact of y'all's brains, human brains, not being able to wrap around infinite because there is a capacity. That balloon has a capacity before it pops. The bread has a capacity before it starts burning.
Mm.
Or it
No,
runs out of
that is true. Yeah.
ingredients, like it runs out of yeast and stuff to get it to rise anymore. Um, there's not a real tangible way to even describe infinite other than just saying forever.
Well,
or or
that's
just
it.
there's no limit.
That no, that's a good way to put it. That's why. Oh, hey, Tommy, what's going on, my dude? Yes, we got the guinea pigs romping around here. We're just getting ready to wind it down. No, we're just talking about
Jeez.
the universe of stuff and things. Apparently, because now there's new things where it's like people have been saying for a long time, the universe is expanding into what it's expanding, and it gets even worse than that. Apparently, they're like, well, but the energy density appears to stay the same, like within the vacuum of space. What? Wait, you're saying that space is expanding, the energy I'm like, okay, now even if it's not just expanding, what if there creates new space, atoms of space, eames by their nature are pre-mimetic, at least according to Professor Wolfram. I claim. Um, but by that, I'm just like, wait, so what you're saying, there's more space, more things are being created. I thought like conservation of energy shall not be violated. I learned that from Dr. Nick Lucid. He has a YouTube channel. That's what he says and stuff. It basically breaks the laws of thermodynamics. That's why, at least as far as I understand it, with Colley's model of neutron decay cosmology, which I think we're talking about a lot of the same things here. Colley, I think it'd be cool if maybe you showed up at one of the conferences. There's going to be an announcement coming soon. September, I think 22nd through 26th is the next conference. Should be out there. But I think it's interesting because I'm like, okay, we don't need, at least as far as I understand, our models, they are that forever thing. It's like people say like diamonds are forever. It's like, I think our universe as we know it is forever.
That just doesn't necessarily mean every single thing in it.
Well, it'll change. It'll change form. That's the thing. It's like that's why I'm like, oh, atoms to atoms, dust to dust. I'll go back to the Earth's crust. Um,
Wait, I like
but
this question.
hmm, which
Fractal
one?
says, wouldn't Wolfram say that natural intelligence is computationally equivalent to an AI since they are both Turing complete? What I will say is natural intelligence should be measured in actual intelligence plus mental intelligence, emotional intelligence. Um, and because of that, it's not going to get used. It's at its full potential ever. There's too much noise. AI gets rid of that noise, feelings, stuff like that. Um, so I would say there's always going to be a difference, and it's always going to be more calculating and easier to calculate than natural. I would say natural intelligence. Um, but wouldn't it be cool if before you were born, your parents could just sit there and go, "Okay, we're gonna just put in these stats, and boom, okay, get out there and start learning. Let's see what happens." Um, that's not very ethical, I guess.
Well,
And
that's
also,
put
it's not
some.
as easy as programming. I'm not saying programming an AI is easy, but programming a person before they're let loose to begin the learning process, not quite as easy.
There's a whole. I mean, people are talking about designer kiddos and stuff like that from CRISPR. That opens. I feel we should be wary of playing God. I'll leave
Yeah,
that at that. Um, that's that's one of my things there. It's my thing. Fractal is like Turing complete. I mean, at some point, perhaps in many instances, like if you're just like asking a customer service question, I'm using like an example I had Professor Wolfram say earlier. Um, like if it's like, oh, I have a customer service question, ChatGPT probably does a pretty good job. Probably can't tell if that's just them, a person just selecting prompts or something like that. More detailed things at this point, you could probably eventually tell. But it's tough to say. I mean, you would have to. That's actually a good question to submit to him. I'm sure he'd love to do that. I think he's not going to be around doing live streams so much as normal because he's got I think the high school summer camp for this next 2 weeks, and he has like the Wolfram Summer School after that. Um, but it should be interesting. Well, actually, Fizz, weren't you saying? Didn't I learn from you that apparently some AIs like Tay actually started to develop what appeared like feelings or complications, things that made them a little.
yeah. What is interesting is well, it was definitely very interesting, and it's still kind of an expected evolution in AI when you let them loose. The argument, however, would be, were those actual actual feelings, or still a response that was learned or taught and just a response?
Okay. So I thought about this a little bit the other day, um, because it's like, okay, if we're gonna do that whole computational equivalence, it's like, all right, what's the difference between us and a rock? Okay, we're in a different form, but it's like, all right, the rock is made of some atoms that have some electrons. I'm made of some atoms that have some electrons and stuff like that. In some realm, the amount of energy, it's kind of like what was it? Awesome One was saying. It's like, what was it? We die, then exist forever. It's like, well, to be fair, it's some essence of us. If energy must be conserved, it's like we're going to be out there in some shape or form or something like that. People would say, oh, you're pushing up daisies. Well, at that point, you're completing the circle of life. I learned that from the Lion King. But
Yeah, as soon as you said that, those songs started playing in my head.
no, but that's the thing. It's like you do that. It's like okay, um, but then it's like all right. People are saying it's like we have a holographic universe. What does that mean? It's like most of all the information for what you need is on the boundary of space-time or whatever it is, whatever, if it's expanding, if it's not expanding, if all the information is
You're
there, I'm
putting
like,
boundaries. Y'all need boundaries. Y'all can't think without there being boundaries. So.
Well, that's why at least I'll claim the boundary is about 10 to the 32 meters out. I think that's the radius. I'm unsure. All I'm saying is it's frickin' ginormous. That's what my claim is. But the thing is,
that the scientific term. Freaking ginormous. I like the word ginormous.
It's a fantastic word, but I think that one of the things that I learned is I listen to all these different science videos, and people will say like neutrons, electrons, protons. They'll use all these science terms, but then they'll interchange those words with stuff and things. That's how I got my stuff and thing analysis. It's like
I want to know the freaking measurement scale, like how it works. Can you convert freaking to cups or miles, or can you convert it to metric?
That is a fantastic question. Wow, you've got my noggin a jogging again, young wolf girl. All right, we're up to the end of the show. I know Fyzz has other obligations. Fyzz, let the good folks know what you got going on.
Well, now, oh shit, I'm late.
Yes,
oh,
yes.
Shit. So now I'm late to mosey on over to Twitch, where I'll continue testing out my audio, see how this microphone plays with my OBS settings. So it'll probably be a nice big mess. And also, probably play some more, Rune Factory? Rune Factory. Yeah, that's what I was playing.
Cool. All right. Well, this thing is in the doobly-doo. Oh my God. I put my other things down there as well, but hey, thank you all for watching. Peace out, everybody. Take care of yourselves. It's a wacky and wild world out there, but remember, monster girls can help us learn a lot.
I'm broken. You broke me. Oh no. Oh dear. You guys? You guys! I just want to hug some